See this life expectancy? Yeah. You spent over 10% of my life in your judicial system. Now, as much as you disagree with that, statistically, yes. Life expectancy, 76 years. That would mean 7.6 years for every 10%. Now, these years from 40 to 49, yes. Because I got out of jail a day before my 41st birthday, yes. Where my wife had alleged domestic violence and child abuse, yes. These years happen to have some very significant meaning to a lot of men. Now, from 40 to 50 years old is kind of like that place in life expectancy where you can do a lot. See, from really birth until 21 years old, yeah, there's certain constraints on your person. You can't vote. You can't drink. Right. There are certain limitations on being a male in the United States for the first 30% of an individual's life. Yes. Now, in your 20s, you do know a lot, but from about 21 to 29, yeah, that's when you really start to think about what you're going to do. Yeah. Now, the 30s, that's where you get your life experience. Poop. I was married from the time I was 30 to 40 years old. Yes. Had five sons. Oh. And then, excuse me right now. The 40s for the male. Yes. See, 5 times 7, 6 times 7 would be 42, 45.6. Yeah. And 5 times 7 would 35, 38. Yeah. Kind of between that, oh, 50%. Pooh. That's when you really want to get to going on what you're going to do in life. Yes. Now, once I get over that 49, that would be 6 times 7 would be 42, 49.6. Yeah. Now I've used up 65% of my life. Yes. That last 35%, you'd be surprised. The last 10% of it, yes. For a lot of persons, they don't get a lot done. And then there's that 10% before the last 10%. Yeah. A lot of them retire and they spend those 7.6%. Now, I'm wanting to document, okay, yes, that this misprision of felony, for all of those that are attorneys, yes, in that last, the previous 60%, in that last, 20 to 30% of life, yes, you thought you were really mean. Um, you don't understand how mean I am. I got 35% of my life to live, and I really don't care who you are. Now, let's say, yes, you had me arrested, for the allegation of a crime that took place on December 31st of 2015. Yes. And I wasn't in Squim. You wouldn't admit the evidence. No. Mm-mm. But I was looking online on how to erase charges against you. Yes. Now, they don't really explain how to expunge a court order for dismissal because of incompetence. Yes. But I was thinking you're going to make me take the next 10 years of my life to remove all your fraud. Poop. Now, when you start adding up that 7.6 years as a 10% of the actual statistical life expectancy of the male, I started looking at it like you've really designed this so that I will never, ever, ever have the availability of a criminal record being erased or expunged. Ooch. That means that any job that I were to apply for, yes, at 48, 49 next month, yes, they'll do a background check. Pooh, poo. And they'll say, I'm sorry, Mr. Budnick. We can see here that you were arrested quite possible, well, Guam was expunged, yes. You were arrested in Clallam County in 2012, yes. You were charged with violating the restraint provisions of a protection order, yes. Now, it's my job, from what I understand, to go through this process of cleaning up my own individual record. Yes. But I think a lot of these probable cause arrests could be one of these Large class action lawsuits? Yes, good. Because I just found out about the Terry stop. Poop! Now, getting, erasing, or correcting your criminal record. Now, this was expungement in the state of Tennessee. But I went to the Guide to Criminal History Records from the state of Washington. Yes. Could you get me the actual criminal records of every individual that's been charged with a crime? Yes. See, courts and law enforcement agency maintain records of those who are detained, arrested, charged, convicted, or acquitted of crimes. Mm. Now, since I wasn't acquitted of a crime, isn't that right? With or was it without prejudice? Beep, beep. And since you arrested me for failure to appear in Jefferson County, yeah, without giving me actual notice of the court hearings, isn't that right, Mr. Roberts? Well, obviously you didn't know about it. You should have just showed up. And you arrested me again for failure to appear. Yes, where I said I was not appearing in court without notice from the state of jurisdiction. I would think there's one, two arrests. Yes, here's a third arrest. Ouch, there's a fourth arrest. Let's see, detained. Arrested, charged, and convicted. Now, I'm just guessing because I don't have any money. Yes. And I don't have a valid form of identification known as the Washington State driver's license. But somehow I think in this process you have to prove your identity.